Annelia, or you can call me Island Curl, and today I will be talking about hair porosity. Now, reason being is because my porosity has recently changed. Wait, just a minute, let me pull up my notes because I'm already losing track. The video just started. My porosity recently changed. Before I tell you what my porosity was and what my porosity changed to, I want to explain to you what porosity is. Now, I do have videos on my channel about this, but those are like way back, like maybe the beginning of this year, because this is when I started my YouTube channel. But let me just tell y'all what is hair porosity. First of all, you have low porosity, medium porosity, high porosity. So let's start with low porosity. Low porosity is when the hair cuticles are tightly shut, therefore moisture is hard to get into the hair. You know what, let's rewind. Porosity is how your hair retains moisture. Now we can go back to where we were. Low porosity. Low porosity is when the cuticles of your hair are so tightly shut that it's hard for moisture to get into your hair. But once that moisture gets in, it's hard to escape. I used to be low porosity. Medium porosity, I'm gonna skip past that. I never really truly go deep into medium porosity. High porosity, let's move on to that. High porosity is when your hair cuticles are so wide open that moisture easily gets in, but it easily gets out as well, because the cuticle hair is it's like this. So yes, moisture gets in, but because it's so wide open, moisture also just flows right back out of it. Just to recap, low porosity hair is when your cuticles are shut closed, so it's hard for moisture to get in, but once it gets in, it's stuck in there, it's shut in there. High porosity is when your cuticles are wide open, so moisture easily comes in and moisture easily gets out. Now that we've done that, so how did my porosity change? There are a number of reasons why hair porosity can change. Maybe flat ironing, blow drying constantly. Those stuff can cause your porosity to change. Also chemical processing like texturizing, and in my case, bleaching and coloring. So my high porosity hair is a result of bleaching and coloring my hair. I use semi-permanent color on my hair often, and just recently I used permanent hair color or box dye for this very black hair that you see here. You know, I'm still getting used to it. I'm just used to being like Goldilocks. I'm used to gold hair, okay? And when it's not gold, it is ginger, or it's pink, or it's red, or it's blue, or it's purple. It's something, but it ain't black, okay? Maybe my roots, but there's always gonna be some other color mixed in there. This is the first time in a very long time that I've had this dark of a hair color. And you know, I found out that I was high porosity before I put this dark color in my hair. I was like, you know what, I'm already high porosity, might as well go for it, you know. But I do also want to point out that there are some people who are naturally born high porosity, and there are people who are naturally born low porosity. I was born low porosity, and my hair just recently changed to high porosity. So like I said, it's due to the coloring and the bleaching. It's because of chemicals, basically. So that's how my hair changed porosity. Now this is how I discovered that my porosity had changed. Like I just said, I've been low porosity for all of my life. All of my life. When I became natural is when I really noticed it, because that's when I started thinking about hair porosity, and that's when I started to know that, you know, hair porosity played a big part in the products that I use. So I mean, I just remember saying to myself, like for a few weeks straight, I'm like, my hair is not acting the same. The products aren't acting the same on my hair. None of the products that were once the most moisturizing products in the world to me, they're not doing it anymore. They're not doing it for me anymore. They're not giving what they were supposed to have gave. They sucked, okay? And I'm like, what is going on? Even some of my most favorite products, I'm like, why? Why? Right? And so I realized that my products weren't working as well as they used to, because when you're low porosity, you use a lot more lightweight products, whereas when you're high porosity, you use a lot of heavier products. And so I was using lightweight products because I was under the impression that I was still low porosity. And then when they stopped working for me, I'm like, well, this is odd. And then I realized that my hair dried out quickly. And what I mean by that is my hair would be moisturized today, and by tonight, or let's say early tomorrow morning, my hair would be drier than the Sahara. I was uncomfortable how dry it was. Just, ugh. And then it also dries quickly in the sense of, like, let's say I do a wash and go where I wash my hair and I go to style it. Like, before I have time to complete my whole head, like, most of my hair is dry. And I'm like, this is new. Because, I mean, with low porosity hair, it takes 72 hours plus shipping and handling to dry. And with the high porosity hair, it's dry like that. Like, I was like, what's going on here? I'm not used to this. Another way that I knew that my hair was changing porosity was because, and I said this in a video before, maybe even 2 videos before, I was experiencing a lot of single strand knots. That is something that I never really had problems with in the past. Like, yes, a single strand knot would appear like here and there, but to have a whole ton of them all over my hair every wash day, I'm not used to that. My hair does not tangle that easily. Yes, it's curly hair and it tangles, but not that easily, and I don't get a lot of fairy knots or single strand knots, and even bigger knots. And I'm like, why is my hair knotting up like this? Why is it, no, why? And then I also noticed my hair was so much frizzier. Like, when I do a wash and go, I'm used to definition. I mean, yes, I don't mind a little tiny bit of frizz, and I'm always gonna have a little bit of frizz because it's curly hair. You're never gonna get it perfect, but I mean, my hair is just extra frizzy, and I'm like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Why? And I'm saying a lot of whys because my hair these last few weeks have just been a big question mark. I started to realize too that my products were absorbing quickly, which when you're low porosity, your hair kind of sits on top, especially if you're using a heavier product. It sits on top, and my hair just started soaking in the products just so easily. And I'm like my hair is just acting so different. I'm like, okay, something is wrong. So I don't know what made me think that it was my porosity, but I was like, I should do a strand test. There are a few ways that you can do what's the word I'm looking for? Where you could do a porosity test, and I was like, okay, let me just say this. I'm not going to go in depth with that because, like I said, I do have videos on this on my channel, so you could go back and watch it if you want to know. But yeah, I did a strand test, and the results came back. I am high porosity. I'm very much high porosity. The good news is I can always go back to being low porosity once I do what I need to do to make it happen. And I'm going to tell you what that is as soon as I unlock my phone. This is how I plan to change my regimen because I'm now high porosity. I will incorporate more protein. As a low porosity girl, I never used to need a lot of protein. Our hair is made up of protein, so I would have to include it in my regimen at some point, but it was not like a normal thing I would use every week. Now that I'm high porosity, I will be incorporating it every week. And my plan is to use deep conditioners that include protein, and then also like maybe once a month or maybe a month, every month and a half, use a serious protein treatment. And just help build the cuticles and the bonds, rebuild my hair basically. That's what we do with this protein, okay? I will use heavier products. Reason being, heavier products just work better for high porosity hair. I have the reason in my head why, but I'm tired right now. I'm not gonna go through all that. I have a video on this, okay guys? Watch the video, please. And I will do more stretch styles. Now, I know that sounds really untrue because this is a very shrunken wash and go, might I add. But this is a wash and go, a very frizzy, shrunken wash and go. Listen, I love wash and goes, and so doing stretch styles and other styles, it's gonna take me a minute to fall in love with doing those. So don't judge me. Last but not least, I will be using a lot more moisturizing products. I'm not saying I never used to use moisturizing products before. It's just now that my hair is high porosity, I'm going to need a lot more moisture, because just as quick, like I said, just as quickly as it comes in, that's as quickly as it goes out. And so I need something that is super moisturizing so that my hair can stay moisturized and less dry. That is all that I can think of for today. Yeah, what am I supposed to say next? I'm so tired. I was up from like 6 a.m. What time is it? It's 9:20 p.m. I've been on the road all day. I've been doing things since I was up at 6 a.m. Just very productive, okay? I'm so tired and sleepy. So excuse me if my energy is low in this video, or if I've like sped through everything. It's because I'm tired. I'm so tired. I can't even think straight. But I want to film a video now so that I don't have to do it later. Explanation over. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye, y'all.